I am absolutely struggling in the UK heat. I'm just not built for it. So I'm going to try and make a fan for myself. Now, I took apart my 3D printer a few weeks ago, and there's two fans in the extruder. So I'm going to try and turn one of them into a bladeless fan. How hard can it be? First, we've got to measure the components. It's just a switch, a 9-volt battery, a connector, and the fan itself. Then we can take those measurements into Fusion and go from there. Now, the core of it is just a basic cylinder. I'm going to add a couple of flat spots to help make mounting the components easier. I just need to make sure it's big enough to house the actual fan. Now I'm adding slots to the cylinder. This is the air intake, which is going to help the fan actually blow. Now for some layman's science. Bladeless fans actually work by entrainment in the air intake. The air gets pulled in and pulls in the surrounding air because it's at low pressure. And then the Coanda effect allows it to go over curved surfaces, again because of low pressure. And then in the cone, there's more entrainment. So I believe. And now I'm making the interior profile of the fan. I'd like to say I measured and worked this out by science and physics, and what I just sketched something that looked like a plane wing and tried to copy it into Fusion, because that's how it works, I think. And then revolving the outside profile around to get the outsides, and then another for the inside cone. I'm going to make these in separate pieces and stick them together. That should be easier. And now I make some little mounts for the fan to rest on, and another mount for the 9-volt battery. I printed the body in two separate pieces. This should make it easier to drill out the mounts and save me about 2 hours print time. Now, something clearly went wrong in my measurements, because the first cone that I printed didn't fit all the way in the outsides. It's no big deal. I just went back into Fusion and changed some of the geometries, but yeah, just an inconvenience. And now I'm drilling holes in the mounts. They weren't in the right place. I have no idea what happened. I just ended up supergluing it in the end. It worked fine. I'm still a big superglue hater, but sometimes it really is just the only tool for the job. Now, what I've learned from this is I really need to work on my soldering. It's not great. Also, maybe get a better soldering iron, because this one only barely gets hot enough to actually melt the solder. It's basic soldering the connector into the switch into the fan and back. It's a very simple circuit. And despite the terrible soldering job, it actually works. Although it is the wrong way round with the screws, which is why I decided to glue it. And I forgot to pull a wire back through the hole when I was soldering, so actually most of the components were on the outside, but it's fine, just resolder it. You know, I'm not great, but I can do that. I'm just making sure that the fan's the right way around before I glue it in, because that wouldn't be great. I have no wish to be playing around with super glue any more than I have to. I hate the stuff. And now I'm gluing these two parts of the body together. And if I was cleverer, I would have made sure there was a few layers above the slit, so I didn't have to glue them all individually, and there was just two mating surfaces. But no, hindsight's 20/20. Now the base of the cone is very slightly warped. I do have a plan to fix it. Spoiler, it is just super glue the hell out of it. But, you know, it doesn't need to look pretty, it just has to work. Testing it out now, there is a little bit of airflow, but I can feel the air escaping around the gaps, so I will need to seal that up. Got two gloves on this time because I really don't want to get any of this stuff on my hands. I hate it. I hate it. Anyway, gluing the parts together. I probably should have made some sort of alignment pins or pegs on the two parts, but well, I didn't, and was able to line it up fine, just holding it in place. put down a thick layer of glue on the flange and then filled in the outside edge with more super glue afterwards, and this did actually seal it up. And as you can see, the fan actually works, and the output's not the biggest volume of air, but it was a tiny fan, and I think it is actually more airflow than just the fan itself, but you know, don't hold me to that. If you want to see what I did with some of the other parts from my 3D printer, check out this video. Thanks for watching.